It's time for the 1430 Connection on 1430 WNAV and 99.9 FM, spotlighting news, newsmakers, and important community issues. Now, with this week's edition of the 1430 Connection, here is WNAV news anchor Donna Cole.
Welcome to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Cole. In the studio with me today is Sue Pitchford. She's the president of Anne Arundel Women Giving Together. Sue, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Tell
me what Anne Arundel Women Giving Together is all about.
We like to refer to ourselves as the Giving Circle because it's quite a mouthful to use those words or even the acronym. What we are is a membership organization of about 220 women that give a certain amount of money every year, which is pooled together, and then we give out all of the money every year as grants to nonprofits in Anne Arundel County. We're a fund of the Community Foundation of Anne Arundel County.
Okay.
So we're not our own 501c3.
You fall under their umbrella.
Yes. So they do our finances for us, but everything else that we do is strictly volunteer. We don't have any staff. So it's a great organization. We have about 60 of our women, of the 220, are active all the time in committee work, maybe up to 100.
Wow.
So we really do spend a lot of time, and it is all volunteer.
So can somebody work full-time at another job and still do this? There's enough room for both? It's not. You said you're busy all year round.
Well, you can just give money and don't actually have to actively volunteer.
Okay.
That's certainly a very welcoming thing for all of us. But we do like to have people help because we do have to run the organization.
Right.
So it ranges from just giving money and being happy that the nonprofits are getting the money to doing what I do, which is running the organization or running committees or doing small parts or large parts.
Okay, and let's say there's somebody that really loves the idea of this, but doesn't have the money themselves to give. They're still allowed to go out in the community and say to, like, for instance, some corporate sponsors, I'm a member of this organization, I help, you know where I'm leading, or no?
One of the things that we do is that there's only 2 meetings a year where you have to be a member to attend. The rest of the time, you can come to our meetings and our educational events or our membership events, but not have to be a member.
So you're not turning anyone away?
We don't turn anyone away.
Okay.
No.
All the happy faces that you can get.
Exactly. We have three regular educational events a year, plus one special event which has to do with women's leadership. About 50% of the people who come to all of those events aren't members.
That's a big number.
Yes, it is big. We're really happy. We try to do a service to the community as opposed to just servicing our members.
And the nonprofits that you're giving back to, are they all in Anne Arundel or are they spread out across Maryland?
The mission of our organization is to improve the quality of life for women and families in Anne Arundel County. The organizations themselves don't have to be based in Anne Arundel County, but the women and families that they help have to be Anne Arundel County people.
All right. And who had the brilliant idea to start this? Was it more than one person?
It was more than one person. There are 15 founders. They started to work in 2005 and 2006, and it was officially founded in 2006, and they gave out their first grant in 2007. So there were 15 founders and a little over between 40 and 45 founding members who joined by the time they gave out their first grant.
All right, we're going to get to where the money's going in a minute, but in the meantime, if people do want to give or people do want to find out more information, where can they go?
It's a website, Giving Together, www.givingtogether.org. They'll see our website and find out all about us.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the 1430 Connection. Welcome back to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Cole. In the studio with me is Sue Pitchford. She's the president of Anne Arundel Women Giving Together. We're hearing about the work that this organization is doing to make lives better here in Anne Arundel County for people that have good need for it. And some of those people and organizations include.
We give out grants every year. This year we gave out $112,000 worth of grants. We have given over our 12 years just shy of $1.2 million.
That's amazing.
Yes. So, and we're very excited about that.
And that's over to 40 organizations in 12 years.
That's exactly right.
All right, I want to hear some of these stories.
This year we're very excited because we gave out 7 grants. The first grant that we gave out was the second year of a 2-year grant, which is the first time we've actually given a 2-year grant. And that grant goes to STARE, which is Starting the Adventure in Reading, which is an organization that does tutoring for reading for second graders in the schools that are mostly low income and those that get the free lunch.
Okay.
So this organization is very exciting because their research has shown that unless children are reading by the end of second grade, there's a much greater chance that they'll never graduate from high school.
Well,
doing the second year of a grant, it was great. So that was good. But this year, we gave 6 one-year grants, and 3 of them are to organizations that we've never funded before. The first one is OLA, which is the Organization of Hispanic Latin Americans of Anne Arundel County. And we gave $5,000 to this organization. What they do is they assist Hispanic residents in getting public service programs and getting help with health and with any kind of service.
Okay.
The second one is Tahira Justice Center, which is actually based in Baltimore, but this is a program focused on Anne Arundel County residents, and they help immigrant women and families that are here as survivors, mostly from foreign countries such as Syria, and they help them with their legal work. The ones that are here as a result of having
hardships in their countries
Exactly. Yeah.
Seeking political asylum.
Yes, they're looking for political asylum.
Okay.
Asylum is the right word.
Okay.
Exactly. And that's what they help them do, is to help them with their legal issues.
Okay.
The third organization is Touchstones Discussion, and that group is helping women that are incarcerated and getting acclimated back to the community. Those are 3 new ones that we're really excited about. There's Lighthouse Shelter, which of course everyone is familiar with, the fabulous work that they do with the homeless. And then Creating Communities, which is an organization that works with students in both elementary school and middle school with art type work. And their mission is to keep the kids involved in school so that they stay in school by offering them alternatives to just general education. And they do a great work with that. And the last one is Rebuilding Anne Arundel. And that organization takes the money that are giving to them as grants, and they use volunteer resources to be able to rebuild homes and do home improvements with residents of Anne Arundel County, mostly women and mostly elderly, so they can stay in their homes, because otherwise their homes would be condemned. And
this is really important work you're doing.
It's great stuff. Yes, definitely.
And do you get this? So do you go out afterwards and visit any of these nonprofits, or before, to confirm the mission is aligned with what? How does that work?
Well, once the grants are given out, then we have another group of women that are liaisons to these organizations, and they visit them several times a year. We also receive reports so that we know that the money is being spent the way that it was supposed to be spent. But one of the really great things that we do is at least once a year we do a field trip to one of the grantees, and women members or others even get to go out and visit the organization and to see exactly what they do. And sometimes we get to participate as well.
Which has got to be pretty heartwarming to see where the money's gone.
Exactly.
We're going to take another short break. We'll be right back on the 1430 Connection. Welcome back to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Cole, and in the studio with me is Sue Pitchford. She's the president of the Anne Arundel Giving Together group that is changing many lives here in Anne Arundel County, it sounds like. So these are the groups that you just gave to this year through grants.
Yes.
So people have to apply for these grants.
Yes, they do. The cycle starts on December the 1st when the application cycle is open. They apply by the end of January, and then the review process starts. And we have a group of women that do all of the reviews. They spend their time looking at the applications, getting their questions answered from the organization, and then they narrow the number of applicants down to a ballot. This year it was 12 on the ballot, and then all the members vote. So they make the decisions which of the organizations are most likely to fulfill the mission of the Giving Circle, and then the members vote on all of them.
Now, as you probably know, some nonprofits are very lean with their staff. They're making do with the volunteers, and many don't have grant writers. Somebody might be listening to this now saying, you all could really help us, but how do we put together? Do you have somebody that can assist?
One of the things that we do is that every January, at the very beginning of January, we hold a workshop, an applicant workshop, so that any potential applicants can come, and we tell them what it is exactly that we're looking for.
That's awesome.
Where they tend to fall down is in the financials. It's difficult for them. So we spend a lot of time talking about what we're looking for in the financials so that they know. We try to look past whether or not they have a professional grant writer. We're not worried about something that looks like it's come out of something that is professional.
Right.
We're looking for the mission, we're looking for the purpose, and we're looking for the program that's going to make the most difference.
All right. And educational programs you do throughout the year. You have one coming up, actually.
Yes, we do.
So tell me about that. Tell me about some that you have throughout the year, and then we'll get into the one coming up.
We have 4 educational programs a year. One is specifically related to women in leadership, and that is done in March to coincide with International Women's Month.
Okay.
And sometimes it's actually on International Women's Day.
That's great.
And so we always have a woman leader who can inspire our members and non-members to really get involved with the community and become better community stewards. The other 3 programs, we have a separate committee that looks at that and decides what it is they're going to specifically address this year. We did a program on veterans earlier this year, and that was very exciting. It was looking at women who had suffered some abuse in the military and the kind of programs that were available to them. The one coming up is on food insecurity, and it addresses the issue, of course, with poverty that we have in the county and people not being able to get enough food, particularly children.
Food deserts.
Food deserts,
And we
exactly.
actually have some in North County, one around the Meade area, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely the Meade area, and of course, Glen Burnie also. North County always has significant issues.
And so your guest speaker for that will be who?
Well, there's a number of guest speakers.
Okay.
It's a whole range of speakers from the county health department to county schools to nonprofits, and then one speaker who's a teacher who has a special program in school.
Right. So you're trying to solve the problem through a collaboration.
It's both solving the problem as well as making people aware of the problem. Awareness is clearly the first step.
And some of us that live in Annapolis are kind of sheltered.
Yeah, yes, we are.
Anywhere, some of us who live wherever, we're kind of sheltered from what goes on 2 miles away or across the street.
That's absolutely true. And so that's our mission for the education. There are a lot of giving circles around the country, but we really focus a lot on education, where some of them do not, because we believe that until we really understand understand what the issues are in the county, we can't help solve them.
Okay, so the education meeting coming up, it's called Craving a Solution to Hunger, A Path to Food Security by 2030. It's being held Wednesday, June 12th, 2019, 6 to 8 p.m. It's free, and it's being held at Maryland Hall, Bowen's Theater. It says about 23.5 million Americans live in food deserts, areas without easy access to food, to good, nutritious food.
Well, that is the issue because, as we know, nutritious food is a lot more expensive than cheap food.
Right.
You can always buy potato chips, and it can be very cheap, but you're not going to do well.
Or if by your body, too. Not going to do well.
Exactly.
What's the amount you want every member to give?
Each member that's over 40 gives $575 a year. $500 goes directly into the grants fund, and $75 goes into administration. Administration meaning it's being able to pay for the software that runs the applications and for being able to hold these events in different venues because it does cost money. But it doesn't go into any administration work for personnel because
you don't
we don't have any
yeah.
personnel. It's strictly volunteer.
And you have no overhead because you're not in an office.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, completely virtual. For those who are 40 and under, it's $300 a year because we really encourage younger members to join.
You need people to do any volunteer type duties outside of what you're already, like social media, anything like, what are some positions people could be able to?
There's a lot of, social media. If you know anybody that does social media, we'd be really happy to help, to get them in, because that is definitely something we do. Marketing communications, we have a whole committee for newsletters, social media, announcements. There's an education committee that looks at all these different events. We have a grants committee that does all the reviewing. We have post-grants that are liaisons to the organizations after they receive the grants to answer any questions they have and make sure that what they're doing aligns with what they said they were going to do. We also have a website.
So there's something for everybody to do.
Absolutely. There's everything.
The other thing is, I think, we can be a transient community because of our a location near Washington, D.C., or for whatever reasons, we can be a transient community. And oftentimes new people coming into a community will want to find a network of like-minded people. But we can also be a little bit off-putting here in Annapolis and hard to get to know some of the people unless you're involved with a community like yours. Is this a good group of friends? Have you all become friends? Is it warm and do stuff throughout the year? Go ahead.
Outside of that, yeah. We always have a social component to every meeting.
Because it's a bunch of women
bunch of women that like to talk to each other. Exactly. And yes, I would say we're very welcoming. And with our new members, for example, before this meeting in June the 12th, we have an hour-long orientation for some of our newer members because we have about 15 new members just in the last 2 months.
So everybody gets to stand up and say, "Hi, my name is."
Well, it's really an orientation, making sure they know what it is we do and how to get involved. Because the worst thing is to have somebody join and not feel welcome, not feel like they understand what's going on and how to get involved if they do want to do that. Though they don't have to. They can just give the money, and we're very happy to give it away.
One more time on where people can find information or give some money.
www.givingtogether.org.
Sue, thank you very much for your time today and for all you do.
You're welcome, and thank you.
This is Donna Cole. This is the 1430 Connection. We will see you next week.